Okay. Like most of you, I love Blink-182. They happen to be one of my biggest influences as a musician. Some of my favorite bands have released albums that, in hindsight, weren't really that good, but I ended up enjoying them. Newfound Glory's Make Me Sick eventually grew on me. Same thing with Good Charlotte. At first, I didn't think Good Morning Revival was that good. Then as time progressed, I eventually came around to listening to it more. As for Blink-182, their California album eventually held some of my favorite jams. But this record's different, and sometimes being different is good. Their 2011 album, Neighborhoods, was different. And guess what? That album became one of my favorite albums. I think their new record, 9, shows a sign of maturity in the band, you know? But that doesn't really come with no surprise. Blink-182 kind of did this back in 2003 with their self-titled album. That was a different album. I mean, yeah, it's not as polished as their new album. You could tell they strayed away from like the fart jokes and the dick references in their songs. We were all so used to albums like Enema of the State and Dude Ranch. With this new album, I feel like Blink-182 really embraces maturity. Now, I'm not saying taking a new direction as a band is a bad idea. Look at the bands who end up taking new directions at some point in their careers. Green Day went from an album like Dookie, which is pretty self-explanatory, to a politically driven album like American Idiot, which is a polar opposite to the albums prior. And it blew everybody away, am I right? Aside from the cringe-worthy music videos, I think Blink-182's biggest flaw with this new album is the fact that they sound more like Coldplay and Imagine Dragons. To me, at least. My uncles would tell me about Warped Tour that featured bands like Blink-182, MXPX, Newfound Glory, the list goes on. But now Blink-182 toured with Lil Wayne. It was cute when Fall Out Boy did it with Wiz Khalifa, but if I'm being honest with you, I'm not really big on tours like that, you know? What's next? A Day to Remember gonna tour with Travis Scott? I get it. Bands evolve, and some of them even past their prime. However, I believe a band can rekindle a spark from their prime without dramatically changing the direction of the band. Slipknot sounds nothing like they did in their early years, but they've continued to evolve by sticking to what they know. Just think about it. What if a band like Slipknot or Metallica decided to write, a grunge record? You know, that actually doesn't sound like a bad idea. Anyways, a band tends to lose their magic when they try too hard. Fall Out Boy did it, All Time Low did it, Newfound Glory did it, Blink-182 is doing it, and there are a few other bands out there that are a few steps away from doing it. Anyway, Blink-182's new record sounds more pop rock than pop punk. I'm not hating on Blink-182 or anything of that nature. Blink-182 is a band that I grew up listening to, and they made such a huge impact in my life that it actually inspired me to become a musician. Huge fans of Blink will love this record regardless of the sound or lyrical content. But most fans, including myself, would agree that they're just not the same. Maybe you'll agree, maybe you won't. All I'm saying is that Blink isn't quite the same anymore, at least to me. I mean, I don't expect bands to release the same album over and over again. Look at bands like Anti-Flag. Every fucking album sounds the same, but I still find some songs to jam to. In the end, I just don't think it's necessary to fix what isn't broken. Blink-182 can legit write another album that sounds like Neighborhoods or California. At first, there's gonna be things about the album I'm not going to like. I grew up on albums like Take Off Your Pants and Jacket and Enema of the State. I wasn't too pleased with California, but it grew on me in time. Maybe this record will do the same. Who knows? But I'm not gonna hate on it, you know? If you don't like a certain record or a certain band or artist, don't listen to them. Simple. But the album is different. I'll give them credit for that. But at the end of the day, you guys can take it for what it's worth. I'm not a big fan of the album, but I am open to letting it sink in a little bit, you know? Tell me what you guys think of Blink-182's new album. Is it good? Is it terrible? Is it in between? Leave your comments down below and let me hear your opinion about this album. Maybe some of you guys will convince me to give it a second chance, who knows? Until next time, stay gold.